Let's talk about overall. The entire design has been broken up into 5 pragmatic zones. So the idea of each zone has a set of functions which underpin the overall concept of that zone and the overall design. So zone 1 is the public zone, or the front yard, which is open to the public, susceptible to theft. It's the main frontage of the house, so it's that point of interaction between the street and the house. We're not going to worry about that just yet because our focus is on the back. Because our zone 1 and 2 isn't necessarily ready, once we have 3, 4 and 5 up and running, then put our energy back into zone 1 and 2, and that will really make use of the new zones 3, 4 and 5 that we've implemented. Zone 2 is the living zone, so it's basically the house and all the functions that surround day-to-day house life. So where we're standing now is zone 3, or the recreation zone. Doesn't look like much recreating at the moment, but there will be a deck and pergola and a small patch of lawn just for all of us to relax on and have some fun, entertaining for Reese right now. Where we're standing now is zone 4, also known as the work zone. So this is where the bulk of our work will be. So tending to our vegetable patch, pushing wheelbarrows, taking our compost out, all that sort of stuff. Directly opposite our shed, so we've got easy access to tools. So really just condensing all our activity into this one work area. And this is zone 5, also known as our wild zone. So this is where all our trees will be. It's the area that requires least amount of work, and it kind of lets it do its own thing, where we'll plant perennial understory shrubs, let them ramble amongst the orchard. It just becomes more of a wild and free, untamed space.
So something I want to point out is all of the markings on the ground. I hope you can see it. There's a bit of blue paint, a bit of orange paint. All of it's really importantly laid out here. Beau has basically taken the time to map out the areas that need to be dug out so that we can not waste time with the heavy machinery, which is to my left and off camera right now. I'll show you in a minute. The main point of doing this is to understand how the planning of the garden is going to go and how we're going to basically be efficient in the work we have to do, because there's a lot to do in this backyard, there's a lot to do for this job, and we want to make sure we don't waste any time. And these markings, the paint, all of it serves a purpose in making it as easy as possible so that we can hit our target goal of basically being finished 1 year from now.
So basically we're using a series of different colours to mark out different parts of the design. The orange crosses are where I'm probably going to plant the trees. The white lines are the paths, and the blue lines are where we're digging these retrenchment basins. So the outer is you want to wrap around the perimeter of the tree drip zone, and that's going to be your water catchment area. Because we're planting exotic trees, fruit trees are exotics, they're not native, they're not used to our annual water rainfall amount. They need a lot more water to really produce enough fruit for us. So whatever we can do at the start to manipulate the earthworks to help store more water naturally will give them the best chance of surviving. We're doing it as soon as we can now while it's still late spring. It's not the peak of summer, even though we do get some hot days. The soil is still quite moist and really easy to dig. We give them a couple of months to set out a few new roots and get established before the heat arrives. So this is the wild zone of the design, the furthest part of the garden. The idea of kind of area is our fruit orchard. We're starting at the end of the garden and working our way back for a few reasons. For accessibility, if we make a mess back here, it's a lot easier to make it at the end and then track our way back to the end of the project, which is the start. The trees are going to be our largest investment, so they're going to take the longest to establish. They're going to take 3 to 4 years before they even start bearing any fruit. We really want to get them in the ground as soon as we can. By doing these earthworks and manipulating our drainage, we're giving them the good chance of starting, I guess. We haven't just planted plants willy-nilly. There's actually some sense and design to the layout of these trees. We've had to work with our site to see where our sun is, where the best drainage is, where the competition trees are, where the shade, because that all dictates what trees will grow best in their given microclimate. So back in this deep corner where we've got this natural kind of sunken pooling area where the water's going to pool, we've put the subtropicals that need lots more water. So the lime, the mango and the avocado. When this fills up with water and it overflows, it bypasses through the avocado and then into the mulberry, where the mulberry will just suck up all that extra water. The idea of the mulberry in the northwest corner is that blocks some of that hot afternoon setting sun. It also gives some protection and shade to the avocado that can burn when it's too hot. And then on the north side, we'll have a small hedge of citrus. On this corner here, a peach, which we'll let grow quite tall, and that will help shade the greenhouse and the shed and cool that down in summertime as well.